They're strong, power lifts are strong, people who are competing in deadlift that could pull 700-800 pounds.
Remember this, guys. Yeah. Everybody who's watching this, we do grappler, we do judo, we wrestle, right? We have to be strong. Like, you could be strong at deadlifts and not strong on the mat.
Yep, 100%.
You need to be, like, really strong, like, without fooling yourself.
Yeah, because I always thought, heavier my deadlift, the better my judo.
People are going to think I'm a physician.
Yeah. Disclaimer, Vinny is not a physician, nor am I.
Yeah.
It's like that disclaimer, like, hey, this is not medical advice.
You should probably put that up in the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. This is not medical advice, period. All right. Shintaro Higashi Show. I'm here with my friend Vinnie Mancuso. He's coaching Bergen Catholic, which is a great program. It's one of the best programs in the country. You're the heavyweight wrestling coach, right, for the kids?
Yes.
Right? You wrestle with the kids physically.
Of course.
And then you are a Sambo national champ, Sambo Pan American champion. You went to the senior worlds recently, right, in Sambo. We wrestled together back in the day. You took second at the U.S. Open or third?
Wrestling,
yeah.
Third.
Third at the U.S. Open.
Also, world silver in grappling. UW grappling.
World silver medalist in
seniors, not veterans.
Seniors. I like how you made that distinction. All right, so very legit. First and foremost, thank you to our sponsors. We have a whole Patreon thing where you can actually chat with me and learn from me, one-to-one mentorships and all that. So check it out. My editor's going to put Patreon, whatever it is here, link down below. Thank you very much. Aishan, he's my editor, video guy.
Nice. He does a great job.
Does a great job, yes.
Makes Shintaro look super professional.
Super professional. Because, most of the time I'm not. Just hanging out, wigging everything. But yes, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Levon. Thank you, Drew. HowQueen.ai. If you have business, you have churn, Drew will solve your problems. And Elijah, thank you very much for supporting this podcast. We're going to talk about lifting today.
Okay.
Yeah. You lift weights?
Of course.
Of course.
I've been lifting weights. Remember, I grew up wrestling, as did you.
Yep.
I mean, you probably start lifting around like 12, 13 years old when you wrestle in this country.
Yeah. I remember my first time I've ever lifted weights. I was a freshman in high school, right? And then I was on the football team, and we were on the worst football team on this planet. But I was on the line. I was like tackle and offensive line. Like I was offensive tackle and defensive tackle, and I'm not that huge of a guy.
Yeah.
But they're like, all right, you guys are going to
start. You were pretty hefty at that age, though.
I was pretty hefty. I was chubby.
Maybe not the tallest guy, but you were pretty hefty, this guy's perfect.
Yeah, this guy's great. But I'll never forget, man, we were doing squats, dude. And they taught us how to spot each other.
Yeah.
And then the first time I've ever got under the barbell squat, dude, we were doing box squats. And we had the catch. And we had one guy on each side and the guy behind you like this. 315, 3 plates, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, first time.
I think it's just from judo.
Probably. Yeah, I was pretty strong.
Just think about it, you're just like,
Yeah. Could not do a pull-up back then. I probably couldn't do a pull-up.
Also, it's like the Asian stereotype, too, of like the strong legs. Like the legs, right? Look at those Chinese weightlifters.
Out of control.
And like a lot of like just Asian people, too, especially like huge calves and stuff.
Yeah. And you've lifted your whole life since. I mean, we wrestled back then, so, but you've never stopped.
No.
And you've been on the same program this whole time? Hasn't changed much for you.
I wouldn't say the same program.
Yeah.
I have a couple. Like I tell people all the time, I actually have like some things. I have a lot of stuff like written out. Like I have like maybe like 3 or 4 kind of like I would say that they're all pretty similar, but I have probably like 3 or 4 things written out.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that are just kind of constant, I guess.
Yeah.
And I do. I personally, I would say, like to do the body part more than once a week.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that. Like
so there's staples.
One body part a day thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Heavy deadlifts.
Staple. Yeah.
Squats.
Yeah. Squats, yeah.
Staple.
Yeah. But the deadlift heavy, I do usually like a stiff-legged deadlift. Not like usually like from the floor deadlift usually that much. Just because I'm so strong at it.
Yeah.
Not like saying like power lift like world record strong, but pretty damn strong that like I think it's just safer and it could get like a little more out of the hamstring.
Nice.
Like doing the stiff-legged.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like just a regular deadlift definitely is good.
Yeah.
But it's more or less going to just tell you like how strong you are at the deadlift, as opposed to like the best thing to like develop your hamstrings, glutes, lower back.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's a little safe. It's definitely safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting how you said that. Because there's like Olympic lifters strong, power lifters strong, people who are competing in deadlift that could pull 700-800
Remember
pounds.
this, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody who's watching this, we do grappler, we do judo, we wrestle, right? We have to be strong. Like, you could be strong at deadlifts and not strong on the mat.
Yep, 100%.
You need to be, like, really strong, like, without fooling yourself.
Yeah, because I always thought, heavier my deadlift, the better my judo. And actually looking back at it now, it was actually detrimental. I was trying to get that 600 deadlift, you know, and I was 565 was the max I've ever done. And I would keep getting injured trying to, and you know, it would be stupid things, right? Like I'd do like, you know, crazy, I did GVT, you know, German volume training, 10 by 10. I would do that.
I've done
like
that, not since like high school, but
yeah.
I've done it, yeah.
And certain like percentage of my 1 rep max, and then you're just absolutely fatigued, you're fried. And then you go to judo and then you tweak something, you know, that, you know, it's like, oh, I'm doing 5 by 5 strong lifts, you know, and you got 4 plates on, and you're cranking through the thing. And then, all right, let me just do like a burnout set with like really lightweight to kind of just like superset it. And then you throw out your back or something, you know, and it's like, you put so much tax on your body, and ultimately, there's no difference between me deadlifting 405 and 565. I think there's a point of diminishing returns when it came to being strong on the deadlift, you know?
Well, the thing is, too, the stronger you get, like, you can't necessarily have, like, a guy that's, like, just starting out who's not that strong doing the same type of program on a guy who's already strong. So, like, Shintaro's, like, he's, you know, naturally good in the squat, deadlift, right?
Yeah.
Maybe his pressing's pretty decent, nothing crazy, maybe compared to squat and deadlift, but probably pretty good, you know?
Yeah, overhead stuff, can't do anything.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like, you gotta know how to control your reps.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
If you don't control your reps, that's obviously the most dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't have to be dangerous.
Oh.
Like, anybody can get hurt doing anything.
Sure.
Let's put that out there, right? But lifting's pretty controlled, and you have control over how controlled that can be.
That's really insightful, man. That's really insightful. Because all these guys who are on the internet, obviously, like, well, you got to go full range of motion, and then barbells are better than the machines, and this and that, and then...
That's not necessarily always true, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, something with the bench, for example, if you like to bench, I kind of cringe when I see people go, like, total full range of motion on the bench.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets hurt down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially you never see some of these, like, football players, they're going for, like, their max, and it's like they're lowering it, and they're, like, dropping it down.
Yeah, and then bouncing off the chest.
Or you see the guy that, like, when he gets lower, it's, like, almost like he pulls it off so he can bounce it off.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great way to screw up.
Or even, like,
your shoulder.
that ridiculous arch that they're, like, kind of, like, just doing that kind of stuff. That can't be good for you. I mean, you're not really activating.
I mean, you're better off really just taking it to, like, maybe, like, on a flat, like with a straight bar, maybe like 90 degrees, and just like go back.
90 degrees, huh?
Keep the tension on the pecs.
Yeah. I mean, there is research.
Might actually get better results. I'm just saying that particular exercise.
Yeah. Well, there's research that suggests, like, the more you load it in a stretch position, the better activation, better growth, no?
I'm just saying for that particular exercise, maybe you should do that with a different exercise. Let's just say, for example, it depends on the person, right? If you bench 225 for reps, it's really not that. It's nothing great. It's okay, whatever. You're probably not going to get hurt on a full range of motion with that. But what if you do like 3 plates, 3.5 plates?
Yeah.
And like you're doing that like week in and week out, like all the time. Like, don't you think something's going to happen at some point?
100%. I know so many guys now at my age, our age, guys who torn their pec.
That's a devastating injury.
Devastating.
A lot of like bodybuilders I've seen, like, you know, in New Jersey, like there's definitely a lot of like bodybuilders around. I've seen like plenty of guys, like I'm talking like pro.
New Jersey's the worst. Dude.
I'm talking like pro bodybuilders or whatever.
Yeah.
And like you won't even see those guys really even touch a flat bench.
Yeah.
Because they might be so strong at lifting. They may not like.
Yeah.
Lifting's what they do. Like they're just so strong at a lift that it might take them. I don't know. What if they have to do 405 on the incline bench to get a great workout?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little risky.
Risky, yeah.
So, like, I see a lot of those guys, they might do, like, the hammer strength incline instead.
I love the hammer strength incline.
You know?
Huge fan.
And the hammer strength is awesome.
Yeah.
And, like, so the guy does 405 on the incline, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So do 5 plates on the hammer strength. If you fail at 6, 7 reps on the hammer, with 5 plates and you fail 6, 7 reps with the incline at 4 or 5. What's the difference?
Yeah.
Your pecs don't know.
Yeah, no.
And
It's true. It's
you
not
stay safe.
Yeah.
And what I like about, say, hammer strength,
I know what you're about to say. Can I say it?
the handles.
Yeah, the handles. You have
I like
this.
that.
You have this grip, so then I can't do it anymore. You just let it slip.
Yeah,
and then
but
the
also
thing,
the angle.
yeah.
The angle of the handles.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
You're not like,
No,
This,
this
but
stiff
you're
arm. Yeah,
here.
it's a little bit more elbows tucked.
and it doesn't have to be like. There's actually a lot of brands now that make nice like these like plate loaded machines are pretty good.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying hammer. It's like I don't know, like Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah.
But
Hammer strength. Yeah.
for back, I think they like.
You use the thumb on the bar like this? No, you don't grab the bar when you're doing the hammer strength, right?
Yeah, just like
You go
like an
you go over like this?
No.
No, that's what I was talking about. I like this sometimes because then it could slide off.
Oh, slide. Oh no, I know. Oh yeah. Actually, when I do it, I feel like it kind of goes up to here. My thumb's almost like free.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because then you could really push
Yeah, for
yourself to
sure.
failure. You know what my biggest
so,
fear
yeah.
is? Benching. Like, I can't, right? And then I don't want to say the R word, but some person that's not intellectually on our
bumping
level
into you?
bumping into the weight and then the
Oh,
thing falling
my
down.
God.
Biggest fear, dude. So it's like I get really annoyed when I'm like benching or doing dumbbell like inclines or something and people walking close.
Yeah.
Especially like these like
People with tripods filming at the gym. I don't know.
that doesn't bother me so much.
'Cause you do it,
I'm
right?
like that. I'm like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me check my form, No, but I mean, like, you get these like people
People's
who
not paying
are
attention.
not paying attention, walking around,
Yeah,
texting on their
I
phone.
see
Because
that.
if you're inclined here and then they knock into your thing and it goes this way, your shoulder's done.
I know.
See,
I don't think you just have to listen. There's a lot of tools to the gym. We have barbells, we have dumbbells, we have cables, we have hammer strength, we have plate loaded machines, we have selectorized machines. They all could work.
Yeah.
They all could work. And a lot of times too, with those pieces, those pieces were designed like a special way. And you see all the like some people just use them wrong. Like they're in there and they're like,
Yeah.
you got to take advantage of it. It has a nice stretch here.
Yeah.
And then like at the top, like the thing squeezes the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you lock out or no when you're on the hammer strength?
I like to lock out on that because it has a good squeeze at the top.
Oh, but you contract like with
Do
your
I contract?
Yeah.
Usually, yes.
Yeah.
I also like, I think like the back type machines they have are very good. I think they're very good for like judo especially
Oh,
too.
you know the one with the chest plate and then you do the lower
That's a great,
with the weight.
Great.
You load it.
And you can do one-handed or two-handed.
Oh.
And what's good about that, if you're doing like one-handed, if you're doing one-handed, say you were going to hold that, it's just like you're like pulling somebody down like this.
Do you like this grip or this grip for that one?
Actually, I like both.
Oh, yeah, mix it up.
If I'm doing 2 arms at once, I actually like this one.
Yeah.
If I'm doing it 1 arm, I actually like this because then it's like doing a dumbbell.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, right? If I'm in a gym and the dumbbell, like I could 1 arm row a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So like, if the gym only has a 120-pound dumbbell, well, it's not going to help me very much.
That's crazy.
So if they have the hammer machine, I could load a bunch of plates on there and I could.
Yeah. Do you hold the chest plate like this, or what do you do with other
If
hammer?
I'm doing one-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you gotta hold yourself in place.
Yeah, no, because it'll slide like this.
And usually I'll put the leg.
Yes, on the pad.
The leg that but the leg that I'm pulling with,
Yeah.
like the side I'm pulling with, I usually put that leg out in the front.
Yeah.
Like, and this one like back here, like just to keep stable.
Yes. I love that machine. How much? How many weights? How much plates do you put on there?
You know, my gym has like a really old-fashioned version of it, and the weights actually like stack on top of each other, so you can't do as much. At some of the newer gyms, they have the newer version, and the weights go on the side.
Yeah, my gym got those.
The one that goes on the side, I could do a lot of plates.
Yeah, how many do you put on your side?
Probably like 5 or something. But
Damn,
the one at the gym that I go, they have like an older one where you can like stack them like this. On that one, only maybe like 3.
Nice.
Because it feels so heavy.
Yeah.
Because the weight is like on the front.
Yeah.
You're like pulling it, it's on the front, not on the side.
I love that one, man. I do like, I'd put 3 plates on each side,
Yeah.
It's so good, dude.
And you could do that a lot of ways too. You could do it the way I was showing you, like holding it, right?
Yeah.
Or like you don't have to worry about your lower back on it. So you could do, if you wanted to do it like faster, you could just do it faster and like pump that way and then put it down, maybe do like, I don't know, like a 30-second break and then do it again.
Yeah.
And if you did like, I don't know, like 4 of those in a row with like a 30-second break, you'd be pretty toasted.
But you mix like barbells, you do free weights and...
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are your free weight exercises that you like, and then what are the ones you go to for machine?
I like rows with a bar.
Rows of the
Bent
bar.
over rows, yeah.
Bent over rows.
Bent over rows. I like overhead presses.
How do you do bent over rows? You do like this way or this way?
Overhand.
Overhand?
Yeah.
Nice. You go, what's your angle of your back?
So there's two ways I do it. I do it one way that's like a little bit more upright, and I'll wear a belt and go like pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And another way I do it is like all the way down,
Yeah.
and I'm bringing the weights almost down to the floor.
Ah.
And it's a lighter weight, and I actually don't even use a belt for that because it kind of gets in the way.
Nice.
But I like that. I like weighted pull-ups.
Man, monster.
Maybe dumbbell row.
All right, so what is your split right now?
It's been for a while. I always liked kind of like that push-pull leg type of
Yeah,
split.
you were such a push-pull legs guy.
Now it's actually kind of popular, but I was doing it when it wasn't. See, this was something that was really popular like before we were even born.
Yeah.
And then like everybody, of course, when we were younger, we did like one body part once a week.
Yeah, the chest, thighs, triceps, shoulders,
Yeah,
legs.
I always did better.
Yeah.
And of course I've done that too, but I've always done better when I put body parts together and did them a little more frequently. I'd rather do like less sets for the body part and do it more times in the week. Also, for any grappling, you don't really get like sore body parts.
True.
So wouldn't you rather do like 6 sets for your quads and go to judo at night, like say 6 for quads, 6 for hamstrings, and like say 4 for calves, than do like 16 sets for your quads and then go to do randori?
Yeah, no, you can't do it. Yeah.
Makes no sense, right?
No sense. Makes no sense.
And you're sore.
Yeah.
This way you'd never be sore. You feel like
Yeah.
loose. By the time you got to practice, you feel like loose and limber. You wouldn't even.
That's true. That's true. Especially because, like, yeah, the bodybuilding is completely different. You know,
But this is a great.
bodybuilder.
But this is a great way to build your body too.
It is.
And
yeah.
bodybuilders did grow their body like that
That's
years
true.
ago. That's where I got the idea from.
Yeah, for sure.
Like reading old books and
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like,
Do
oh.
you do like small isolated muscles, like bicep only
Yeah.
kind of thing? Yeah, you do exercise like that.
That's why another reason why I do the push pull leg thing is because I don't want to go to the gym just to do like biceps and triceps. It wouldn't be that exciting.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
So and plus, I'd rather do my triceps when like I'm warmed up. I did chest and shoulders. My elbows feel warm. Everything's warm.
Yeah.
And you're not going to use as much weight
Yeah.
because you're already fatigued. So like, you don't need to risk tearing your bicep.
Yeah.
What if you were fresh? Oh, totally fresh.
Yeah.
You just worked at your desk for 8 hours all day long, and you're all pent up. You just want to get to the gym. You're like, oh, whatever. And like you're not even warmed up, and now you're just like going like this. You're like, ah.
Yeah, dude.
Now you tear your
I used to do
bicep.
that. I used to go to the gym, like, I'm going to lift arms today. And then start light warm up and then throwing up 50s, and then like working negatives down.
And
like,
especially like a lot of us too,
Great way
do
to
judo
think about
too, and
it.
we're like always like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like it's normal. Like Shintaro's talking about doing like a 50. Some of the guys are probably like a 50-pound dumbbell. Like, oh my god, just for arms. Like we're like this all the time. Like that's like we could use a lot of dumbbell if we like really wanted to start heaving. We'd probably do like crazy amounts. On
But it's
dumbbells.
better for me to do back and then just have 30s.
and you're already
then,
warm.
Yeah,
And you're
doing
warm.
concentration curls.
And I like, and
incline,
especially me too with
Yeah.
with biceps. I especially like to do something with like like maybe some kind of preacher curl or like concentration curl where the elbow is on supported on something.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like that's really good. Oh, just like a straight bar curl if you like put your back straight up against the walls really good too.
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
And,
All right. So, what was your last workout? Like, do you do 6 days a week with one rest day, or how do you?
So it actually comes usually at like 5 days a week, just because I'm mixing in like judo, wrestling, whatever.
All right. So, give me your regimen. Push pull legs. You go back to back 3 days in a row.
Not necessarily. I usually, if like for example, say like Saturday's like a really heavy training day.
Yeah.
Like we train a lot, like we do a lot of wrestling, like sambo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like really tough guys, like really strong guys. Like I won't lift at all that day.
Yeah.
I don't want to lift and then try to go with some of these guys who are like really good.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So like definitely that'll be a day off no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And then some people like to have their weekends free, like not go to the gym. I'd rather go to the gym on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like during the week is like so busy.
Yep. I love Saturday, Sunday lift, and then
I love it.
I just love that. Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday would be my ideal. But
So,
this is the
yeah.
thing about
So I
the push
usually-
pull legs, because you do push pull legs, it's 3 days, and then if there's a
you
fourth
just-
day, it kind of skews everything a little bit.
No,
I don't love that.
No. It doesn't have to be like, let's just say, just because you did push on a Monday doesn't mean the next Monday you have to do push.
I know.
So I could say do push, pull Tuesday, take off Wednesday,
Yeah.
then go again Thursday and Friday, and then take off Saturday, and then
Yeah.
go again on Sunday, and then just keep repeating it from where you left off.
All right. So, when was the last time you were in the gym?
Yesterday,
What was it yesterday? What did you do yesterday?
chest, shoulders, and triceps.
What's push day?
Yeah.
All right. So, tell me about that workout from yesterday.
It was pretty good, I guess. I just did some basic chest presses, incline.
Machine?
I did some bar.
Barbell?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then I did them at hammer strength, incline.
Yeah. What is the set and rep range that you did?
And on that, so the reps weren't, I wouldn't say they were high, but the time under tension was high a lot because I was squeezing and holding.
Okay.
I was squeezing at the top and pausing at the bottom. I was trying to do it with like literally no momentum.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Time under tension, yeah, that's a good one, man.
And then I did some cables. I think cables are pretty valuable.
What kind of cable exercise do you do for the pecs? High to low this way?
It was actually really nice. It was a free motion machine.
Yeah.
So I was able to kind of like set it in a comfortable area, and I was just able to like take it from the sides.
Yeah.
I was just able to take it from the sides and just do a basic like hands meeting in the center.
Oh, like down low?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, some people go back here, then they go
Again with
so many different
with
ways,
a squeeze.
You know? Yeah.
Usually on chest movements, I usually try to do a lot of negatives and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
so you didn't go heavy yesterday?
What?
I mean, heavy. Yes, of course it's heavy.
It would be heavy for a regular person, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then I went on the shoulders.
Yeah.
I did shoulders on the hammer strength
Nice.
because you could really load shoulders up in there. And again, I was doing like a pause out of the bottom.
Yeah.
I was pausing at the bottom of every rep.
Nice. With tension.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't putting the
weight down.
Yeah, I was holding it in that place and then going up. So it was just kind of good for like explosiveness. See, some people think that you need to lift the weight really fast to get explosive.
Yeah.
Just retarded.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, what if you lift the weight too fast? What ends up happening is that you end up with like how many times you do something like really fast and you end up like really with no tension on your muscles? You were just like using like your bones and stuff to like just kind of like support weight.
Yeah, I used to bench like, obviously 225 for reps is the gold standard. You know what I mean? Like everyone does that.
So you're doing
does that. Yeah, I used to do it for like 12 at the most, right? Which is not like great, but I'm not good on that motion. But it would be like I would bounce it off my chest and then let the momentum carry it up, and then I would let my like shoulders lock out and then rest a little bit. You know what I mean? And then it's like there's not a lot of tension.
So the way I would the way I would be doing it is
that's the wrong way.
I would take it off and I'd be lowering it very slowly and then bringing it back up. I usually on bar stuff I don't lock out.
What are some of your max lifts that you're like, all right, these numbers I'm proud of? For me, it's the deadlift 565. I did that, and squat I wasn't so strong. I would do, reps at 405, and then you do the calculator. It's like theoretically, it's like a 465 is your 1 rep max for the squat. Bench 315. I did that before. That was it. So those are my numbers. Not great if you're a weightlifter.
My best lift ever always was the deadlift, and I did like 625 in the deadlift before.
Damn, that's a nice one.
I always
actually not that much more than
I always thought that maybe I could do like 7 or something, but I don't think so.
I would have thought that you would be in
I could honestly,
mid to high sixes.
Here's the thing too with the deadlift, I feel like I was just good at it. I don't feel like I ever did something that like I felt like I couldn't do. So maybe there was room for more. Yeah. But I was always kind of cautious.
Yeah. My 565 deadlift, Sika Shred? That guy like shared my video. Did you see
really?
That video? Yeah. Shared my deadlift video, like, does deadlift work for judo, whatever it was.
He does a lot of judo stuff, that guy.
Yeah, maybe he does judo.
No, but I feel like in the last year or so, he's been doing like some judo videos. They pop up because it's judo.
Yeah. But that rep came up pretty quick. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm doing like...
I feel like I've never really failed. Like, I always felt like I've picked weight that I could do.
Yeah.
So...
You ever do rack pulls?
Rack pulls? I don't like them.
You don't like them?
But I like to do a rack pull movement without the rack.
Ah, okay.
I like to do that.
So you don't go all the way to the floor?
No, I'll go to like the bottom, where like the bottom of my knee meets like the top of my shin.
Because to lower it, to stop it and then go back
the other way.
Yeah.
I don't like that's taking the tension off and then putting it back on. I feel like
I don't like that either.
It looks a little risky.
Dude,
listen, I may lift some heavy weight and stuff, but it's all stuff that I can handle.
Yeah.
It might be heavy, like somebody be like, oh my God. But it's all stuff I can handle. Trust me, I'm very cautious. Like, I love to lift weights. I love to like train, wrestle, do judo, all this stuff. Like, if I get like an injury, it's...
Well, let me tell you something, man. You, out of all the people that I've ever met who've grappled, knock on wood, the most injury free.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, but you have no shoulder issues. You have no knee stuff. You have no back stuff, right?
I feel pretty good.
I've never heard you complain once, like, "Oh, I'm banged up."
I feel pretty good.
Yeah. You want you to take care of yourself?
Let's say anymore. Let's change the subject.
Yeah, deadlift, man. That's
I don't know.
It's a risky movement, I think. But you said you do mostly stiff-legged deads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you go heavy on that, or?
I would say like I'll go on Romanian deadlifts. I'll do 500-pound Romanian deadlifts
That's crazy.
with a belt on, just to like
Yeah.
wear a little bit past the knee.
Straps or no straps?
Yeah,
Straps.
of
I
course.
love straps.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why don't you use straps?
Why don't you use straps?
Look, it doesn't make a difference. Listen, I was doing a back workout. I remember like 2 weeks ago, I forgot my straps. I didn't have them. And like, I was doing like, it was a great exercise too, like the chest supported T-bar row.
Oh, I love that one.
Because think about it, we're real strong guys. We have a lot of pull strength.
Yeah.
So like, we can't be spending a whole workout like bent over, like bracing our back, bracing our back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Our backs would burn out before, like our lower backs would burn out before we did. So I love that move. But I was doing that. I was doing like, I think I did like that, and like the hammer strength pull down, and I did some cables, like just regular lat pull down, some rows, and I was still like using the same weights.
Yeah.
So like you still have the same
All right. So in terms of like progressive overload, like do you plan it out? You write it out. All right, I'm going to increase this. This is my rate of perceived exertion, all that stuff. Do you do all that stuff or not really?
I don't like to complicate it.
No.
So
how do you know when to go up and weight, down and weight? I'm going to focus on time on the tension today. You just get in and get it done.
Yeah, you kind of could feel it, but it takes experience. If I was a guy that was just like, like beginner or intermediate lifting, I probably would do something like, remember you were saying a 10 by 10, 5 by 5, this and that. If I was like newer at lifting, I would pick some core exercises and do like the 5 by 5.
Yeah.
And that would train you
to
keep track. And after a while, you'd learn how to keep track in your head.
5 by 5 like strong lifts you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, that's like a good example. Like that's something that's out there.
Yeah, like a bench day, squat day, deadlift day kind of a thing.
Something like that. Yeah. Or I think one time I had one where it was like a 4-day one. It was like, I think it was like a bench and over military, a squat and a dead. And then like, I think I might have did like squats with a leg workout. And then I did like the deadlifts with like some back and hamstrings. I did shoulders. Yeah. And then the other day was like a chest,
Yeah. You lifting today?
Yeah, I probably lift today.
Yeah.
Probably lift today. Yeah, I think I'm going to lift today because...
What are you doing, push?
No, I'm up to back. Pull.
Oh, because you did push yesterday.
Yes.
So nice, man.
I'll probably lift today, yeah, for sure.
What do you take afterwards and before? Do you take pre-workout?
No, I just eat.
Just eat? Yeah. What about afterwards? You don't take protein shakes?
No.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I have a Russian wife who cooks.
Yeah, you were telling me that. I thought that was really interesting too. So you don't take creatine or anything like that?
No.
No?
No. I take a lot of creatine. Listen, the only things that I take, like supplement-wise, would be vitamins.
Yeah.
Certain vitamins and minerals that I think are important.
Yeah. Vitamin T.
D, yes, D3 and K2.
T. Thyroxine. But you don't take any creatine.
I don't take creatine, but I think creatine's pretty good.
What about pre-workout?
But I eat a lot of red meat, so I feel I don't really need the creatine.
Yeah. What about you don't take pre-workout?
I don't take pre-workout. I like coffee.
Yeah, coffee's good, man. All right, but
real coffee though.
But you don't drink protein shakes after your workout?
No, not usually.
How many grams of protein do you think you eat a day?
Considering my body weight, not as much as you would think.
How many grams?
Between 2 and 250.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Maybe 200.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Let's just say I eat 4 times.
Eat 4 times a day?
Yeah, about. Maybe let's say 50 to 60 grams.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to eat. Remember like the whole 6 times. Remember the whole 6 times a day thing? I did
that for years.
Nonsense. So stupid.
I did that for years and got fat.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. It's like the worst advice.
Worst. They tell you to eat like this, eat brown rice. Just get fat.
Yeah. Oh, trash. No good. How many calories do you think you eat a day?
I don't count.
You don't count?
No.
No?
No.
You ever count?
I don't count them at all.
Never.
No.
But you know exactly how much rice you eat. Like you have all right, this much, that much. I'll eat more rice.
Well, if I have rice, and a tip, if anybody wants to eat rice, you should have a rice cooker. It's the only way to eat rice.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Shintaro's going to say he's a Japanese guy. It's like obvious, right? But usually those rice cookers, you keep like a cup or something, or you
Yeah.
have like one of those things that you like put it on the cup. So you know what a cup of rice looks like.
Yeah.
Even if you don't use the cup and you like put it on your plate, you know.
Yeah.
Come,
Yeah,
you know what a
the
cup.
size of a fist
You know what
is
a cup of rice. I feel like if I'm eating rice in that meal, a cup of rice would be pretty good. Actually, my favorite carbohydrate is a potato.
No potato. Keeps you more full longer, is that why?
Yeah, but the thing is with the potato, it has a lot of minerals.
You eat the skin then.
I do not eat the skin, peeled.
That's where the skin's got all the minerals on, huh?
No.
Sure about that?
The skin's got a lot of things that are like what you don't want in there.
Really?
Like all those oxalates and phthalates and all that stuff.
Shit, I'm
Stuff
eating
that bothers
skin.
your stomach.
Yeah, okay.
The part that turns green after a while, you don't want.
No, you don't want that. You don't want the roots coming out of that.
No, you want
that.
that. Listen, potatoes have a lot of potassium. All right, potassium has insulin-like action.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it helps you put those carbohydrates into the cells, into those muscle cells, but without you having to. You're obviously going to produce insulin because you're eating, right?
Yeah.
But without so much insulin,
Yeah.
and if you can get the carbs into the muscle cells as glycogen,
Yeah.
right? Make the glucose turn to muscle glycogen.
Yeah.
Without the use of so much insulin,
Yeah.
that's essentially going to get you pretty lean and jacked.
That's very true. That's very true.
Whereas rice doesn't really
Yeah.
have those minerals. Not that it's a bad thing. It just doesn't have the same minerals.
Yeah.
So if you're having stuff like potatoes, or you got like bananas right there, like bananas.
Yeah. You ever do a deload week?
No.
You just never take off from lifting ever?
The only time I take off from lifting is if I go and travel to like a competition.
Yeah. Interesting. How long would that be?
However long I'm in that country for.
How long are your workouts?
Hour, 15 minutes maybe.
Nice. You do a full proper warm up and all that stuff? Mobility exercises, scapular freaking retractions and such, or not?
No, not like that. I like basically just like a basic judo warm up kind of.
Yeah. All right.
You know,
Yeah.
roll your head around, roll your shoulders,
Okay, so not like a real full blown,
hips.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
go down shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and then maybe a little stretch, like whatever body part I'm going to do that day. I like to statically stretch the body part that I'm going to do that day. Some people are not into stretching. I think you should,
No, yeah, I mean, there's
especially for legs, man.
Yeah. I mean, people theorize like, oh, dynamic stretching is better, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. The push-pull legs protocol that you do might be great for you, but do you think that's a good one for most people watching who are like, let's just talk about the average viewer of the podcast,
Well,
who grapples?
I'll tell you this. The push-pull leg workout also works good if you're a 3-time-a-week guy, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think so?
Let's just say you're on the mat every day,
Yeah.
but weekends you have a little extra time.
Average guy's not on the mat every day.
Not on the mat. So let's say you go Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. To the gym.
Yeah. You do push and pull. And then whatever day he doesn't go to practice, he could go do leg workout during the week.
Yeah.
You could do that.
That's true. That's a good one.
You could start getting into upper lowers and total bodies and all that, but dude,
Yeah.
if you have to do a total body or an upper lower, that's a lot of body parts you have to get warmed up. Because remember, when you're doing the push, pull, leg thing, all those muscles work together.
Yeah.
So if I already did all my chest, my shoulders already warmed up. I only need like 1 or 2 warm-up sets.
You know what? You're absolutely right with that, yeah.
Why? We won't waste time here.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a hard time sometimes when I go heavy incline press and then I go to the overhead press, my shoulders are already fried. Maybe the anterior delts are kind of taking over on my...
I think it takes getting used to.
Motion,
It gets getting used to.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily you're not going to be able to use the same weight on shoulders as you would if you came in fresh and did shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't think sometimes people should do a total body CrossFit like just burn as many calories as possible? Like that might be good for someone that's...
Maybe like somebody introductory to beginner.
Yeah.
Listen, this is another thing. You do judo, let's say. You do whatever.
Yeah.
Go to the gym to get stronger and build your body and get muscular.
Yeah.
Take care of your technique and your stamina and your endurance on the mat, which you should be building from doing live.
Yeah.
Randuri, live wrestling, rolling. Listen, that's where you're going to get in shape for this. You're not going to I don't know. I don't see running around the block to get in shape for the judo nationals, for example.
You wouldn't do sprints?
Sprints? Maybe uphill.
Yeah, uphill sprints again, yeah.
I think uphill.
Yeah.
I think if you sprint all the time, listen, world-class sprinters.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm not exactly sure, but do you know how many times they actually sprint during the week?
Not that many? 5,
Probably not
10?
that many. Probably not that many.
My aunt is a world level track and field lady.
Oh,
you know
really?
this? Yeah, she has a world
What
record with. So this is the thing. She used to do marathons.
Oh, really?
freaking banging out, 26 miles, all that stuff. And now she's doing a lot more short distance. Now she's doing sprinting stuff.
Really?
She blew me and Eugene away on the 400 meter.
Really?
Yeah.
Because she probably knows how to run it.
Yeah.
You probably just
I guess.
did it stupid.
Yeah. I bolted and I was so tired after the first 200 meters. I was
Oh my God.
puffing and puffing. But she's an animal.
So think about it though. How
she
many
doesn't
times
sprint?
sprinting, dude? Sprinting is like a lifting workout.
Yeah,
so
it is.
requires like rest days
Yeah.
and stuff. So if you don't know how to manage your sprinting,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're
Yeah.
18 or 38. You run the risk of tearing a hamstring or something.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's why I said uphill's probably a little bit better.
Yeah, easier on the knees too for a lot of these guys.
Or maybe if
Yeah.
that's why I think you see a lot of these teams out there. I'm not saying because it doesn't really happen in America unless wrestling is a little different because they do have these kinds of things. But you see these training camps and the guys are doing a buddy carry up the steps or a hill. I think that's pretty good.
That's a good one.
That's really good because listen, you're probably not going to get that hurt. You can either do it or you can't.
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fully concentric.
Yeah. It is. It is. Man, I love lifting too, man. Just the bicep curls, dude. Big fan of the curls, you know what I mean? I know everyone says triceps are 2/3 your arm, you gotta work your triceps more, but there's just nothing
Biceps. Yeah, especially for that pull.
Yeah.
I actually like the just the single handed handle for the cable on a bicep because you could just kind of concentrate it.
Yeah.
And you could just stand there and just kind of pump your arms.
What do you do for your triceps? You do a lot of overhead tricep motions? In theory, it's supposed to be better up here with the stretch.
Yeah, I do it. So I do that with cable.
Yeah, cable.
Yeah, with the rope usually.
Is anchored behind you.
But I like close grip bench for the triceps.
Yeah.
I like close grip bench. I like dips. Close.
Yeah.
And also they have that that hammer dip machine.
Yeah.
It's pretty good too.
Nice. Dips hurt my shoulder, man. I don't know.
Because that thing you can kind of control it, it kind of holds your legs in, and you're pushing it, and you kind of go end it where you want it to end.
You do that more for tricep or pec?
Tricep.
Tricep.
But I've seen different models of it too.
Yeah,
some of them are a little bit.
Depends on the lean and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you are. Whether
So I usually would start with something like that,
Yeah.
and then I usually go to cables.
What's your favorite rep range?
6 to 10.
Yeah, 6 to 10. Nice. Do you ever get the 10 and be like, I gotta go up and weight next week? This weight's too easy.
I would go
for
up the
me?
next set. I would just go up the next set.
Yeah.
10, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Because in my opinion,
Yeah.
you're not going to get hurt probably with something that you could do for 10 reps.
Yeah.
So if you
Control 10 reps.
everything's controlled, bro. Everything always controlled. Listen, if you want to build not even just everything, performance, physique, whatever, you need to control the reps.
You know what we should do? We should make a workout video. Maybe we'll go to the gym, put it on YouTube. What do you think? I did one. It was pretty successful, the video that we did.
Oh, yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
That way they can kind of see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And then we'll give some tips, pointers,
I think so.
You'll embarrass me in front of the world.
Especially with some back. I think some back would be good. And I think back
We'll
would
do
be...
the rows, right?
I think back would be good
Yeah.
because all judo guys have pretty strong backs.
Yeah.
And I could even tell you this, in COVID, me and Sensei Kamal had a place that we could work out at.
Nice.
And he was working out with me, and he's pretty banged up, and he had a lot of really bad back surgeries. I mean, the guy had a ceiling collapse on him in a fire. His back was had rod screws, was terrible. But in certain positions, on the right machines, as long as his back was supported and he could pull, he was pretty damn strong on back.
Nice.
And he had all those issues.
What gyms do you go to though?
Well, I go to Strong and Shapely in New Jersey. It's a pretty well-known place.
Is it?
It's been there for 40 years.
And good machines.
Yeah, they actually call it the Disneyland of gyms because they have. It's enormous.
A lot of guys record themselves lifting in there.
It's not over the top, but there's a good amount.
Nice. Okay, so it's not a thing.
It's not crazy.
Yeah, the gym I go to, there's not a lot of people doing
Everybody that goes there,
Yeah.
I feel has been there for so long.
Yeah.
Everybody knows each other really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have friends there?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Everybody there is.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pretty. It's not a commercial gym. So it's more like a tighter kind of community. It's not people are there. It's not a pickup place or
Do you have lifting friends, lifting buddies that you train with? Or are you a solo lifting guy?
I always was kind of a solo lifting guy.
Yeah.
There have been times in my life where I've had partners.
Yeah, like Frankie?
It don't work out. I've had
He
friends.
told me he was going to the gym with you. He's like, I go to the gym every day with Vin. And
Oh, dude, he did it for like 2 weeks. No, at one point when I was living close to the gym, before me and my wife bought our house, I was living close to the gym. I had another one of my good friends that I grew up with was living like right in the same neighborhood, and it was a good like walk around. Where that gym is a good like walk around type neighborhood, and we were working a similar shift.
Yeah.
So he worked out with me a couple of years every day, and he got in like pretty good shape. And another guy, you know, Kenny, the guy that works out with Glick.
Yeah.
So when he was in like college, he's a little younger than us. When he was in like college, I was working. I didn't go to work till like 3 o'clock at the time, and he didn't have class till then anyway. And he was just in college, needed to get in shape, whatever. He used to come and meet me at the gym like every day religiously.
Nice.
And he got in like really good shape. And
Awesome.
he gained like probably like ask him like all because he's like pretty strong, right?
Yeah.
Like all the strength that he got like in that time, like he like retained all that like from those years.
Nice.
So like he got some good training in those
Do you
years.
listen to music while you lift it up?
No, whatever they have in the gym. Listen, personally, the gym's a great place to like talk to people too. So like,
it is. Yeah.
Why would you want to listen to music? I hate some of these like newer style gyms and they have this place blasting. It's like a club.
Yeah.
I'm like, things like how many like relationships you make like at the gym, like just like.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Sure. I mean, I like the commercial gym. I go to like a super commercial gym right now, and I kind of cycle. There's 3 gyms in the area. You have Equinox, super high end. You have like New York Sports Club, which is mid end, and there's a shittier one. You know, but the 24-hour fitness is huge. It's vast.
Yeah,
right?
they're probably really well equipped.
Well equipped, but their maintenance is. I wish they'd do a little bit more maintenance. A lot of these machines are freaking broken. They don't bother to fix it. You know, so like I don't love that, but it's 24 hours. So I could go after judo late at night. I could go early in the morning. I have more flexibility there.
The 24-hour gym now is becoming a lot more prevalent.
Yes, it is.
The 24-hour gym, like 20 years ago, probably 10 years ago, there's probably like 3 in the tri-state area.
Yep. But this is the thing, right? It's not that kind of a gym for me because majority of the people that work out there aren't in great shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you get the newbies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's never a guy I would want to interact with. Yes, they're jack guys there. I'm not going to walk up to them and be like, yo, what's up, man? Like, what are you doing for your thing? You know, sometimes it's like, hey, can you help me spot whatever it is?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like in and out 1 hour. So it's like I have headphones in usually, you know. But I've been in gyms like Pump and Iron back in the city where it was like you knew these guys are going to be there at 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
Of course.
And so it's like you're all part of that clique. And then that was a little bit more like, hey, kid, you know, come here. Let me show you how to freaking, you know, you don't need to, you know, put the weights together up here.
Those are the best places because that's where you really learn.
Yeah, but they always try to sell you steroids, too. So, you know, it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like you're kind of always fending off, like, you know, the evil, you know, that thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you know, a lot of these guys selling this stuff back in the day, out of their freaking gym bag. You have no idea where it came from. Sometimes they're trying to sell you stuff that's already been opened.
Well, yeah.
You know, that's crazy stuff.
Well, that's common sense 101, right?
Yeah. I mean, now it is, you know, but when you're young and, you know,
when you're young, you don't know how it's really supposed to be.
No.
And that's like a very, like, ever so changing. Yeah. It's like some stuff that's the same about it, some stuff that's different, but it's just much more like out there. You have like women now even doing things. And women are taking things.
Different compounds, you know.
Plus they're taking this stuff like to lose weight also.
Yeah.
So
talk about like tirzepatide and
the so that's kind of like opened a whole new field. A lot of women are kind of, I feel like that's giving them a push. They're more showing up at the gyms and they're like, oh, what else is out there, you know?
Yeah. How can I fast track this thing?
Yeah.
Yo, let's make a workout video one of these days. I don't know. Do you want to go to 24-hour fitness or do you want to go to your place? What do you want to do?
No, we can go to 24 hours.
Right around here.
We can go right now.
Right now, there.
Yeah, we can work out.
Potentially, I got a doc's appointment at 1, but maybe.
One of these days.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. If you guys like Vinny's stuff, you could find him on Instagram, Vinnie Mancuso, VINNIE.
Yeah.
I finally found that out after 20 years of knowing you.
I don't push it.
Yeah, it's wild. I think you're on my phone as NNY. Actually, maybe let me see.
I probably am for a lot of people.
Oh no, you see I spelled it right, Vinny.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
good.
All right. So I got a lot of misspells. Well, thank you very much for being here, and then stay tuned, guys. And let us know in the comments how jacked Vinny looks on camera.
Well, check out my jacket on so nobody can see.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Did I thank my sponsors on this thing already?
I think I would have been the other one.
Thank you, Elijah, Jason, Levon, and Drew for sponsoring the show. If you are watching, you could also sponsor this show by going to Patreon. Now we have a chat with me feature. You could chat with me, ask me questions. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Vinny, for being here.
Well.